Wild dogs surge straight toward their prey in relentless bursts of attack. Across a harsh, natural landscape, they hunt with speed and disciplined pack coordination. Each closing advance steadily strips the target of control. Even other predators remain cautious under that pressure. Once the chase begins, which wild animal still has the strength to escape? African wild dogs are often seen as the forgotten rulers of the wild. With each adult typically weighing around 70 pounds, they are still capable of coordinating as a pack to pressure prey many times their size. Their large, rounded ears, long legs, and remarkable endurance allow them to sustain prolonged pursuits under intense heat. Yet their most formidable advantage lies not in size, but in the precision and discipline within every coordinated movement of the pack. On the African savannah, lions stand as a symbol of strength and control. Weighing over 300 pounds, they possess enough power to make most rivals step aside. But for African wild dogs, this relationship goes beyond caution. It becomes an ongoing competition between two hunters pursuing the same prey and sharing critical hunting corridors. When a lioness moves across low grass with her cub, a nearby pack of wild dogs quickly recognizes the rare opportunity. Rather than relying on individual strength, they shift directions repeatedly, applying pressure from multiple angles. This forces the lioness to keep adjusting her position to shield her young, gradually losing her rhythm of control. At another watering hole, a solitary lioness faces a similar challenge when open terrain and temporary isolation are fully exploited by the opposing pack. In the wild, the greatest advantage does not always come from size, but from a group that understands how to divide roles, maintain rhythm, and wait for the precise moment to make a difference. Impala are not easy to control targets on the African grasslands. These antelopes can leap over 30 feet, change direction almost instantly, and read open space the moment they sense danger. For many predators, a single well-timed turn is enough to break the pursuit. But this time, the force behind it does not rely on individual strength. African wild dogs hunt through rhythm, discipline, and precise pack coordination. As soon as the signal to chase begins, the pack immediately shifts formation. One group maintains close pressure from behind, while others spread out along both sides, gradually narrowing the impala's options. With resilient legs, large lung capacity, and the ability to sustain speeds of around 35 miles per hour, the pack can extend the pursuit across miles of grassland while maintaining steady pressure. What they need is to hold that pressure long enough so that each turn from the prey demands more energy. Near a clearing by shallow water, the impala attempts to redirect toward the edge to disrupt the pursuit. For a brief moment, the surface seems to offer a buffer, but the pack maintains distance, spreads its formation, and waits for the precise moment to close in as the animal reaches the bank. If the impala remains in the water to buy time, an experienced individual quietly maintains the approach. The surface ripples, the gap narrows, and the balance begins to shift. On the savannah, the difference is not always decided by the first burst of speed, but by which side can sustain the rhythm the longest. The leopard embodies solitude and stealth across the African savanna and forest edges. An excellent climber with quick reflexes, it can haul prey weighing nearly 300 pounds up to heights of over 15 feet. This big cat often hunts through surprise and control within tight spaces. That is what makes encounters with wild dogs especially tense. One thrives alone, while the other depends on numbers and near constant coordination. When a leopard is spotted after a successful hunt, preparing to lift its catch into a tree, a pack of wild dogs quickly arrives. They do not need to prolong the encounter. By appearing at the right moment, moving continuously, and applying steady pressure, they force the leopard to abandon its hold on the fresh prize. Under that pressure, the leopard climbs higher, leaving its entire catch behind. In another patch of dense grass, the leopard returns, attempting to reclaim what remains while the pack is feeding. One individual moves too close, unaware of the blind spot ahead. The leopard bursts from the low cover, gaining an advantage in an instant. But wild dogs do not easily leave one of their own behind. Within seconds, the pack regroups, closes in from multiple directions, and compels the leopard to withdraw from the area. In the wild, cohesion can be a powerful advantage, strong enough to make even the most elusive predators remain cautious. Along the edges of African waterways, the Nile crocodile is a threat even seasoned predators treat with caution. With a bite force of around 3,700 pounds per square inch, this reptile can bring down large prey in a single well-timed surge near the bank. For wild dogs returning to a waterhole after a long hunt, the line between relief and danger can be no more than a single step. As the pack approaches the water's edge, a crocodile suddenly lunges and pulls one individual into the murky current. Nearby pack members react instantly, rushing forward and attempting to hold their companion, while others move along the bank to apply pressure. Moments later, the wild dog regains the shore, and the pack quickly gathers around its most vulnerable member. Even as one of the most effective hunters of the savannah, wild dogs can be placed at a disadvantage in a single moment of misjudgment. And it is in that moment that their unity reveals why they remain one of the most resilient groups in the natural world. On the dry season savannah, the African buffalo is not an opponent. Wild dogs can overwhelm with speed alone. An adult can weigh around 1,500 pounds, equipped with a solid horn structure like a shield, and the power to reverse a situation in a brief reaction. This becomes a test of patience, distance, and the ability to detect even the smallest weakness in the herd's formation. As the buffalo move across low grass near the end of the dry season, the wild dogs do not target the center. They track along the outer edges, shifting direction fluidly to force the herd to turn and gradually lose energy. The focus is not the strongest individual, but one that falls out of rhythm, young, slower, or briefly separated from the protective circle. Even when an opening appears, risk remains constant. A single well-timed turn from a buffalo can force the entire pack to spread out immediately. Then the pressure builds again, closing in from multiple angles to limit movement. Not raw strength, but endurance and coordination create the advantage. On the African grasslands, victory often belongs to the side that can maintain order the longest. It is not sound, but movement that signals the hunt has begun across the Masai Mara grasslands. Wildebeest appear like a living wall in motion. An adult, weighing close to 500 pounds, can form a formidable line of defense within the dense formation of the herd. But for African wild dogs, the challenge is not that mass. It is identifying the slightest break in rhythm among hundreds of synchronized steps. The moment a half-beat delay appears at the edge of the herd, more than 20 wild dogs split into multiple directions. They maintain contact through near-silent coordination, avoiding any sudden rush while extending pressure across the length of the movement. With endurance that can sustain a pursuit for over 5 miles, the pack does not need to break the entire wall, only to loosen a single link. As that opening becomes clearer through the low dust of the savannah, the hunting formation finally closes in. The wildebeest continues to run with the herd, but steady pressure from multiple sides gradually weakens the advantage of numbers. Here, survival does not belong to display, but to a strategy resilient enough to follow opportunity to its decisive moment. A single downward sweep is enough to disrupt the calm below. The target loses its rhythm, and even other hunters are forced to hesitate. Wings drawn tight and talons ready, each move reflects complete control of the moment. In a split second, the sky itself reshapes the balance of survival. Which bird stands as the most formidable predator on the planet? In nature, size can sometimes be a deceptive measure. A relatively small hawk can challenge an opponent standing nearly 4 feet tall, turning physical disparity into a high-stakes test of survival. While the wedge-tailed eagle relies on a wingspan exceeding 7 feet and sheer strength to dominate, the hawk places its advantage in boldness and extreme speed, turning its opponent's size into a liability. That precision is most evident in the red-tailed hawk. Once a target is locked in, the hunter begins a steep dive at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour, turning its body into a high-speed aerial hunter cutting through the air. From rodents and reptiles to amphibians, its varied diet is not just about feeding. It helps maintain the delicate balance of an entire ecosystem. In the Sonoran Desert, Harris's hawk takes this strategy even further. They operate as a coordinated aerial unit, closing in on agile jackrabbits with remarkable teamwork. While one drives the target forward, others immediately block escape routes from above, forming a precise pincer movement that brings the chase to a decisive end. Evolution sometimes produces forms that seem almost unreal. The American white pelican, with a massive 10-foot wingspan and a powerful elongated bill, carries within it a hunting system shaped with remarkable precision. Its hidden advantage lies in the throat pouch, capable of holding up to 3.5 gallons, an organic net nearly 3 times larger than its stomach, turning its beak into a uniquely efficient food chamber. When hunting, pelicans align in formation like a coordinated unit, quietly driving targets towards their open bills. A controlled surge begins as they scoop up dozens of pounds of water along with fish into this mobile reservoir. Their survival instincts also extend onto land, where these large birds can use a 15-inch bill to firmly secure pigeons weighing close to 1 pound in a brief, decisive moment. Under harsher conditions, this instinct goes even further. When food becomes scarce or nesting areas grow crowded, pelicans may target vulnerable young within crowded colonies. This behavior reflects a strategy to reduce competition while gaining immediate nutritional support for survival. In the natural world, the line between abundance and vulnerability is often only a breath apart. While focused on filtering water to retain their catch, pelicans temporarily lose some responsiveness. In a brief lapse, the hunter can enter the awareness of a marsh-dwelling crocodile waiting below. A moment where dominance in the sky gives way to the quiet presence of the water beneath. The shoebill appears like a living relic from prehistoric times. Standing close to 5 feet tall, with a wingspan of nearly 8 feet, this bird does not dominate through speed, but through a cold, unwavering stillness that never falls out of rhythm. Its hunting method is a demanding test of endurance. It can remain completely motionless for hours, blending into the reeds like a silent gray mass. When a target lets its guard down, the entire body suddenly surges forward in a rapid, downward motion. A beak nearly 1 foot long cuts into the water, securing the target with precise mechanical timing. All of this sustained effort serves a single purpose: continuation of the species. Although it may lay up to 3 eggs, the shoebill usually raises only 1 chick through the full breeding cycle. The protein gained from these persistent hunts becomes a critical foundation, allowing the next generation to develop and ensuring this prehistoric-looking bird continues to hold its ground within the harsh wetlands. Across the sunlit grasslands stretching from South America to the southern reaches of North America, the Caracara appears as a highly practical frontier strategist. With a wingspan of about 4 feet and long, agile legs, it does not rely on flight alone, but is also ready to walk straight into the center of chaos to seize control. In the Falkland Islands, the tension peaks when a group of striated caracaras spots a seal pup alone. Rather than rushing in blindly, they form a coordinated group approach, pressing forward with direct and calculated pressure. Just as the circle begins to close, the arrival of the mother seal, weighing hundreds of pounds, turns the moment into a tense confrontation, forcing the birds to pull back at the last instant to preserve their strength. From clearing what is left behind to high-speed pursuit, the Caracara commands a varied diet across territories spanning many square miles. But under harsh conditions, it reveals itself as a natural strategist. A full-scale challenge unfolds, where collective intelligence overcomes solitary strength. In the world of the Caracara, power is not an inherited privilege, but a reward claimed by those bold enough to face adversity with persistence and tireless wings. As twilight sinks into the void, an unseen kingdom begins to awaken. At its peak stands the owl, an alert phantom capable of rotating its head up to 270 degrees to survey its entire domain. Unlike pigeons or hawks, owls possess velvet-like feathers and finely serrated wing structures that nearly eliminate aerodynamic sound, turning every wing beat into a silent march of survival. Across distant grasslands, a barn owl hangs suspended in the air. Even from more than 100 yards away, its asymmetrical ears can still isolate the faint rustling of a target beneath thick snow. Then comes a lightning-fast descent at roughly 30 miles per hour. The target remains completely unaware until powerful talons close in and secure it with remarkable precision. Its diet reflects a demanding balance. A single owl may consume thousands of small rodents, voles, or amphibians each year to maintain its energy. No display, no trace. The owl proves that the ultimate advantage is not raw muscle, but the ability to command emptiness itself. Across the sun-scorched plains of Africa, the Marabou stork appears as a highly practical, almost ghost-like presence. With a wingspan reaching up to 10 feet and a height of nearly 5 feet, it is not only a scavenger, but also a formidable opportunistic hunter. Its most striking tool is a chisel-like bill over 12 inches long, capable of delivering fast and precise contact. In wetland habitats, the marabou applies a refined, tactile hunting method. It holds its partially open bill submerged, patiently waiting for the slightest vibrations from fish or crustaceans before closing it with lightning speed. Its survival instincts can make it a dominant presence in open terrain, where it may target vulnerable young animals or assert control over feeding opportunities. The marabou does not hesitate to confront and drive away other birds of prey, including eagles and hawks, to secure access to food. At the edge of survival, the marabou prevails not through appearance, but through the adaptive intelligence of a true opportunist. High above the frozen peaks of the Rockies, a silent presence watches. This is the domain of the eagle, an enduring symbol of natural authority. With a wingspan exceeding 7 feet and vision up to 8 times sharper than that of a human, it does more than spot a target from thousands of feet above. It maps an entire survival landscape. Riding thermal currents, it glides with quiet precision and control. Even a lone wolf or a swift fox becomes vulnerable against a hunter capable of reading reactions in fractions of a second. Along sheer cliff faces, the encounter reaches its peak. The eagle commits to a high-risk move, engaging mountain goats that can outweigh its own body several times over. Rather than relying on raw force, it turns gravity and steep terrain into decisive advantages, using elevation as its ultimate tool. Meanwhile, the bald eagle dominates open water with an impressive success rate of around 70%. Each dive reflects precise calculation, accounting for light refraction and water movement. At the narrow edge of survival, the eagle's dominance is shaped not only by strength, but by the refined intelligence of a master adapter. In the natural world, birds stand among the most versatile hunters. More than 10,000 species have mastered every habitat through remarkable evolution. From sky-dominating specialists to ground-level tacticians, they carry biological tools refined for decisive outcomes. It is an ecological order unfolding with precision, guided by every wing beat and perfectly timed strike. Wild dogs bring the hunt to a close through their advantage in speed and formation. Their strength lies not in size, but in disciplined pack coordination. Even other predators find it difficult to underestimate that pressure. In the wild, the advantage belongs to those who can sustain the pursuit the longest. If you want to follow more dramatic wildlife encounters like this, please like and subscribe.